you for some time now. Had to zoom in with the lens and write the rundown.
What's going on, legends? Back in the shed for another DIY project on my NP300. So today we're going to be talking tub chops. Now, before we get into the reasons why you'd want to tub chop your ute or your wagon, quarter chop, you know, things like that, I'm going to run through some of the tools that I anticipate we're going to be using today for this job. So, first things first, angle grinder or some sort of cutting tool with a cutter blade on it. We're going to probably need a tape measure, some masking tape to mark out our lines, then some marking pens to mark those out further, paint pen or something to cover up any of the bare metal after we've done the cut, some pinch weld or some sort of edging to put over the cut once we've finished doing it, probably some screwdrivers as well. So the most prominent reason that you're probably going to want to do a tub chop on your vehicle is for departure angle. So this really gets into off-roading, basically, is why you're going to want to do a tub chop. So you've got all of this metal hanging down here. This is pretty much the area that we're going to be getting rid of. Now, prior to doing a tub chop, you're going to have this hanging you up off-road. So departure angles, coming down off a rock ledge or a mud ledge or something like that, when you drop off it, it's probably going to cop a hit. And it's also probably going to hang you up, which means that it's going to stop your momentum from moving forward or possibly stop the whole vehicle altogether. So getting rid of this section is really going to open up a lot of possibilities for departure angle off-road. Now that goes hand in hand with the approach angle up the front of the vehicle. So my Ironman bull bar obviously offers a lot of approach angles. So these big cutouts in here are designed specifically for that reason. So when I'm coming up to some sort of obstacle off-road, that approach angle is going to basically help the vehicle tackle that obstacle without getting hung up. So we've got good approach angle up the front. Now we're going to try and match that with departure angle up the back. Okay, so first things first for me, guys, I need to get rid of the rear bumper off my NP300 now. I did only just recently put this on, but it's no longer going to serve the purpose. I'm going to have to make up my own rear bar after I finish this chop. So this guy's got to come off. You may have the factory bumper on your NP300 which you need to remove. If you do, there is a video on my channel where I put this bumper on my car and I actually removed the factory one off there as well. So you can watch that video as a bit of a how-to guide on how to get your factory bumper off your vehicle. Okay, so you're going to want to rip the mud flaps off each side of the vehicle. It's just a couple of Phillips head screws to get those out nice and simple. Once you've done that, there's this rude bloody thing that's hanging on the inside of your tub, basically just a splash guard, a couple of bolts to get those ones out, so they're just 10mm bolts, two up the top, one on the side and one down the bottom. Now they do have this silicone around the bolts. Scrape that away with a flat blade screwdriver or something like that to get rid of it before you try and undo the bolts, otherwise you might strip the head of the bolt like I did, and then it's just a pain in the ass to get out. So do that first. Once you've got those out, it literally just pulls away. There is a sticky piece of foam here which stops it from vibrating the outside of the tub. So you'll just need to sort of pull it away and you'll see that just rip off the sides, no problem. So that gives us now access to a nice clean cut through here. So once we've done that, we're going to remove the lights out of the tub as well. So make sure that we get all of the wiring away from where we're going to cut. I'm not sure where it runs on the inside of the tub, but just to be sure, we're going to rip all that wiring out of the way anyway. They're nice and easy to take out. So all you need is a 10mm socket, 2 bolts on the inside of the tub here. Now this is on either side of the vehicle, exactly the same. Just grab your socket, take both of those bolts out, and then there's just a couple of plastic clips that are holding in place, so literally just pops away from the tub. And then you've just got the connectors here that are holding into place, so unclip that one. The light is now free from the harness, and we can go ahead and tuck that down in behind the tub and out through the bottom so we can get it right out of the way of the cut that we're about to do. So it's time to measure the cut and mark it out on the panel. So I expect the end result to be something like a tube bar on the back here, which runs around to side bars and then over to rear scrub bars, to the sliders, to the front scrubbies, to the bull bar. So essentially this is going to be a tube up the back here from what I can envision now. It could change, but to give me enough room, I'm going to have to sort of match up to about the height of this panel here, which runs underneath the tailgate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from the ground. I'm going to measure from the ground up to the bottom of that panel, which is 930mm. So that means that if I go over here, I can measure 930mm up to this part of the panel, which I can then put a mark on. And once I've marked that, I can run around the whole side of the panel and continue to mark out that measurement. So obviously the cut that you do on your panel is going to depend on the end result that you're after and the angle or straightness of the panel when you're finished. So what I did, because I was very undecided, I chucked it on Instagram and I put it to you guys to make the vote. Now the votes are in. Okay, so I guess that means that I'm gonna have to go for an angled cut, guys, but I might meet you guys halfway, because I was kind of keen on doing a straight cut, but was very unsure whether or not that's going to stand out too much against the rest of the NP300, because the MPs have a lot of curved panels on them. So doing an angled cut means that it matches a bit more with the rest of the body. So what I might do is go a little bit in between. I'll do maybe not so much of an angle all the way down. I'll sort of go halfway and just have a very slight angle going down. Kind of might be hard to see at first, but then when you look closer, you'll see it's got a little bit of an angle on it. So that's what I'm going to go for. So my 930 measurement, which will start here, is probably going to drop down to maybe say about 910 by the time I get to the front, or maybe 900. I'll just have to mark it out in the panel and see how it looks and go from there. So what you're going to want to do after you've done your measurements on the panel and marked them out, grab some tape. And this is going to help give us a bit more of a visual to see what it's going to look like as an end result. So go ahead and put the tape on. And this is also going to give you a nice straight line. Okay, so there you have it, guys. That's pretty much how the panel cut is going to go on the bottom side of this tape. So what I'm going to do now is just get the texter and mark along the bottom of this tape line here to give me a straight line to cut to. And once I've done that, I can go ahead and rip the tape back off, get the angle grinder out, and we can start cutting this panel off. Okay, so you've done your measurements, you've checked them twice, and now it's time to make the cut, guys. So what you want to do is make sure you mark out the waist side. So this is the waist side, the one that we'll be cutting off, and you want to cut on this side of the line when you're using your cutting wheel. So you want to grab yourself your angle grinder with the cutting wheel on there, if that's your choice of poison, and then you want to also grab some safety specs as well, guys. Safety first, and that is it. It's time to cut into the panel. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is pretty much trying to come away now, but there's a brace section in the back of the quarter panel here, which is holding it all together. So there's two 10mm bolts right there that I think is holding this panel onto the brace section. So I'm going to undo those and see if it all falls away. And if it does, then we can get this out of the way and then start cutting into that brace section, which we no longer need on the bottom half. So this is basically the brace. This is what braced that bottom panel. We don't need it anymore. The next set of bracing is reinforced up here, which does all this stuff. So we can chop this away, it's no problem. So all we need to do now is basically just get that same measurement again. Mine's going to be 930mm, and basically just measure that, mark it out, and cut it off. Okay, so now that I've let my heart palpitations calm down a bit after cutting the panel, it's time to clean up the cut that we've made now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a flapper disc. That's my preferred method of cleaning up a metal panel. So you can see in the video there that I'm moving over the panel with a flapper disc really lightly, just cleaning up the cut that I've made. You can use some sandpaper or a deburring tool, a metal deburring tool. You can get those from any auto store or anything like that, guys. So that's another good option. Just clean the panel up, ready for paint. So once you've done that, you need to use some brake cleaner or something to clean the surface with, and then grab a paint pen or something to cover the bare metal that you've got exposed now. So I'm using a paint pen that's the color of my Navara. That's a really good option, and especially for those really thin metal pieces, you can just dab it on. You just need to get something on that bare metal, guys. It's going to be covered up with pinch weld or whatever covering you decide to use. But if you don't cover the bare metal, water will seep down into there and it will eventually rust, and in a few years that's going to end up rusting really bad. So you just want to make sure that you do it properly now to save yourself headache in the long term. So guys, go ahead and do that. Once you've finished, put your selected pinch weld or any sort of covering that you decide to use over the cut. I've tried a white pinch weld on it just to see how it looks. I'm not 100% sure yet. I mean, traditionally, most of the time you use a black pinch weld. So I decided to try a white one, considering the panel's white. I'll see what it looks like once I put all the bar work on, and I'll decide if I want to keep it or not, or move to a black pinch weld. Now, you do need to have about 3 meters of pinch weld to do both sides of the car, guys. So make sure you grab yourself enough, you don't want to come up short. And that's pretty much everything.
Welcome to forever, man. Let's go. You know that this right here forever. And there will be no surrender. Now allow me to reintroduce myself. They call me J.O.N. to the easy E-N. Know that we undefeated. Y'all are beneath them speeches trying to air a grievance, but his lines are overhead, better check the end.
Now there is a tip that I can give you guys for mounting mud flaps back onto the car. Obviously you need to do that to stay legal on the road. So you can use this metal panel bit that we took out of the car originally. We can reuse that. We can just put a cut in it depending on how far down you went with your tub chop. You can mount it back up to these 2 screws here. Maybe put a Tex screw in through this one because there's another metal panel inside there that mounts up against. So you can Tex screw through it or mount it somehow to that. That should be rigid enough then to put a mud flap off the bottom of this. We should be able to check out the approach and departure angles off-road now, and as you can see, it's really matching up with the front. So I'm really digging it, guys. It looks really good. So this exhaust is going to be getting removed eventually anyway, but for now it's hanging down really low. It was covered by these panels, but once they both go, it's going to be sticking down really low and look stupid. So for now, I'm just going to cut it just after the chassis mount back here. Just going to lock this back section off for now, and once I get the new exhaust system, or if I custom make one, I'll just make sure it's the same length.